Season 4, Week 4, Salty Saturday here. I'm Slimsh. I'm joined tonight by former teammate and proud entropy representative, the Anarchist. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Excited for the matchups tonight.
Yeah, a few of these are near and dear to our teams, but there'll certainly be no bias, Kappa.
Yeah.
But
First up,
yeah.
we got MV Parker taking on Force of Will, the sub for who is it? The Danger Zone, and MV
Danger
Parker,
Zone.
obviously repping for Team Rank 5. So it's gonna be an exciting one.
Yeah, these guys are bringing some interesting classes, and I think this will be a really interesting match with some decks that we definitely won't see in later series, mostly because of the classes, but also because of just what was prepared. It's going to be a really neat one. I'm really excited about it.
It's rare you see two Paladins in THL.
Yeah, so Team Rank 5's up in this series. It's currently 10 points to 5 with 3 matches played, so it's a bit of an uphill climb for Danger Zone, but still totally possible to bring it back. So, yeah, Mage,
definitely.
Paladin, Shaman, Warrior for Parker. He really had some thoughts about after the changes on what he wasn't really enjoying the thought of bringing, so he shook it up a bit with some classes we don't normally see. And Force of Will did the same with Paladin.
Both brought the Paladin, which is Paladin's not picked a lot. There's only 12 people in the league who've picked Paladin this week, so definitely not a lot of them. And then I'm surprised no Warlock. Team Rank 5 was on the Warlock bandwagon for a while, so I'm surprised there's no Warlock at a Parker.
Yeah, he really wasn't feeling that either. I don't know. He likes his Mage and his Paladin. He likes his decks. I still think Warlock's fine, but
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, so I know Parker's band, but I don't know their bands yet.
Yeah, we're still waiting on them to get into the match. They're preparing to battle a friend.
Yeah, both players with Shaman, of course. Shaman is still about the same.
Now, do you expect both of them? Do you expect both of them to be mid-range?
Yeah, I would expect. Aggro is basically unplayable at this point for the most part. You can't burst with Rockbiter anymore, so it's a little slower if you're looking to burst people down. And I don't know, I guess there's the slower control variants, but I don't know why we'd see those. It's a very polarized deck that is looking for really specific matchups.
Yeah, but Frodan went 3-0, so.
Bog champ!
Yep. So do you know either of the bands right now?
Nah, I'm gonna ask him.
Okay.
Although Drew, man. Yeah, I don't want to spoil what Parker's band. Parker's band's gonna really throw you for a loop. So yeah, Shaman is the most common band, but we will see. Yeah, I think Paladin. I thought Paladin was going to be worth submitting. I was going to do it myself. Oh, apparently Parker's opponent did not have a ban. They weren't aware of it. So it looks like Parker's just going to have free reign.
Okay. So up. Yeah, so so Force of Will did not make a ban.
So Parker says, PSA, captains, tell your players, especially new players, how bans work. Thanks, Parker.
Okay.
PSA has been communicated via the stream. Alright, cool. So these guys might queue up at any point. So Parker, he banned Hunter. And a lot of people have been getting weird looks for doing this. But with Parker's strategy, I think you'll see why. It'll be an interesting one. Hunter's definitely, like, if you're ever trying to play Paladin on ladder, especially a slower variant, the death rattles are just, they kind of go against everything your equality Consecrate can do. So,
it looks like they're in now.
Yeah, Parker just needs spec on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Parker's got free reign of what he can queue up with. Force of Will has Shaman, Paladin, Warrior. I think most players, when their Shaman doesn't get banned, they tend to lead with it, but that's just my experience. Because they can't believe that they got so lucky, right?
What was that? I'm sorry. I was getting into the...
When people don't have their Shaman banned, they typically open with it. At least that's my experience. Did Force of Will keep that Hex in the opener?
I don't know. I didn't get in. I don't know if he caught. I didn't catch it or not. If he kept that.
Sometimes the spectate's weird with mulligans if you're not.
Yeah.
Careful about that. Yeah.
A rough hand for.
Oh my god.
That top deck.
Yeah. So the Spirit Claw's Blood Mage Thanos was at the very least going to push a lot of face damage, but Parker's going to nip that right in the bud. So Acidic Swampu is very good tech, and you might be looking at that Cold Light Oracle and wondering what's going on. You'll see.
I am.
You will see.
Oh, is that any fin counter?
Nah. Well,
no?
It might turn out to be. You'll see.
And if he was expecting to go up against an Anyfin deck and the Paladin, the Cold Light's not too bad.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, so it looks like this Ooze is just totem killer at the moment. Force of Will really doesn't have much going. Is he gonna coin the
Maelstrom? Yeah, and then Maelstrom?
Maelstrom just to get rid of that and get something going. Seems good enough. I mean, I guess the Maelstrom really wasn't going to be that relevant in the matchup.
And he got the best roll off of the...
Oh my god. Yeah, although Parker has a pretty good answer with Slam and War Axe if he wants, depending on what gets drawn. Can't be too mad. So these Cold Lights are going to have to get played at some point, it seems.
That's double Cold Light.
Yeah, double Cold Light. Some people might know a few Warrior builds that run Cold Light. With 2 Shield Slams and Execute in hand, it's not such a bad thing to feed your opponent cards with Cold Light. You'll most likely be able to answer them with what you pick up. So that's the hope. Just to have a bunch of answers, but Elise is good play. Don't need to resort to Cold Lights yet.
Yeah, I like the Elise there's really good. It's a good body. He doesn't have much to answer with. So what do you think Force of Will's going to play here?
I think it's just got to be an Azure Drake.
Yeah, I would expect the same thing.
Yeah, no reason to panic on this Elise or Hexer or anything. That would be unnecessary. Could trade into Thalnos, which would not really play around much, really.
At this point, he might be hoping to get some value off of that spell damage. The second Maelstrom.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking that the deck's definitely running Lightning Bolts, so that's always a concern. Lightning Storm can be a concern. Maelstrom number 2 is here, which Parker probably won't play around for a bit. Yeah, he's not going with the Cold Lights yet. I wonder if he's going to try and mill. Not that that's a very viable strategy against a Shaman necessarily, but something he could try to do.
Yeah, at this point, he's getting close. He's also
oh my god, is this just a totem? Totem Manatide, so this puts Force of Will up to 8 cards. So could mill 1 card if the Tunnel Trog's not played, which kind of would make sense. You don't really want to extend much. So Revenge seems decent. You can bash Revenge if you want. Or just not Revenge and keep it for Execute. No. Yeah, seems good.
I like building up the armor for the shield slams.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, in these stages of the game, a Shaman's likely to slap down a Thunder Bluff eventually. Probably not a Fire Elemental just to the face, but I wouldn't be extremely surprised.
Yeah.
If that happened, this makes some sense too. I wonder if Force of Will won't hero power. Sometimes Shamans won't do that. But the brawl wouldn't be that great anyway, so. Seems good. Yeah, Force of Will's just got a lot of gas to be running on for a while, and Parker's just completely happy to do nothing. Tunnel Trog's pretty threatening, though.
Yeah, I like clearing the Tunnel Trog. You don't want to deal with more overload. Was that a Harrison picked up? Force of Will? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's probably going to come in handy eventually. So Force of Will, as a shaman, you kind of want to force a brawl if possible before you have something like Thunderbluff in the mix. So I think Force of Will might be testing the waters just a bit.
Right now he's not got the brawl in hand. Do you think he has to start drawing cards here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's been something that's been in Parker's mind for a while now. When to draw with the cold lights. It has to happen eventually. You can't just hope to wait until fatigue. Gonna shield slam a feral spirit. The flame tongue. Yeah, the flame tongue is the most problematic one. That's definitely the one you'd want to go for.
And it looks like he's gonna drop the Thunderbluff Valiant. At this point,
yeah, 100% needs a brawl to be answered. I don't know why the Thunderbluff would ever get placed over there on the right, but
that was
whatever. And just push with this too. I mean, I guess why not? Got to be ending the game.
I think at this point you just race it, put as much in as you can.
Right. Well,
and there's
brawl,
the top deck, yeah.
And it's definitely a good time for it. And with 10 mana, even with the execute nerf, if anything really threatening survives, it can get dealt with pretty easily. Like the Thunderbluff, that's, yeah, gotta go. 100%.
Yeah, you can't leave that up.
Yeah, Force of Will still has plenty of meaty threats to throw out. Could either use the weapon or the Fire Alley. I like the Fire Alley.
Yeah, I do too. You're not going to see a lot of better targets for the...
No. Yeah, and Parker's at 20. Wow, even gets the spell power, and Force of Will takes that and goes face. Map to the Golden Monkey. Yeah, I don't know. 2 shield slams and an execute down. It really doesn't look good with a fire elemental.
And a brawl.
Staring you down. Yeah. Going to need the second brawl. Going to need the other execute. Because this fire elemental is just going to connect for way too much. I don't know. Do you play a Cold Light Hero? Do you try to fish for the brawl the following turn and just... it's really difficult.
You're staring down 12.
Yeah, 12 being at 15, or 17, 5 essentially with that. So maybe this Armor Smith heals you for 5, quote unquote. It gets dealt with. I mean, Force of Will's just got everything. I think you still try to hold back a little bit about that second brawl.
Yeah.
But to play something like Azure Drake is really not hurting you too much in that regard. Alright, well, Force of Will respects the Armor Smith. Doesn't want to see that count get huge. Probably going to be playing around the second Revenge this whole time, too.
Yeah, that'd be... The Revenge is something definitely to watch out for, but at this point, you just... So you have lethal set up on board? I'm doing math. You'll need 2 damage as long as the armor's up.
Yeah, I'll need 2 damage. Now it's going to be 8 damage.
No, he would just need 4. Right?
With 12 damage on
6.
the board and 20.
I'll need 6.
Or 14 and 20, yeah, I'll need 6. And this is...
You need whatever armor.
5 damage, this lightning bolt right here, so 1 damage off. Unless any new...
Unless he draws something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what other damage there could be at this point, though, that would be affordable with playing the Azure. Both weapons got played. It'd have to be the second lightning bolt, right?
Yeah.
That's not it. You deal with the Justicar. Maelstrom Portal does it. You can just Maelstrom it. Seems good, right?
Yeah, I think so. You're not... What else are you going to do with this turn?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good Frostbolt. It summons you a minion. 3 damage, 2 mana, summon minion.
Yeah. Does he set him to 1 here? Or does he, Doesn't look like he's gonna hold on to lightning bolt. Well, he's gonna have to draw.
Yeah, he's gonna have to reveal these cold lights now, which is unfortunate because this is gonna be really relevant for future matchups. Okay, finds the second brawl. Is it too late? Maybe not. Depends on what
That's all what lives. Yeah.
Big time. Not the cold light. Okay, Shifter's
That's
Eris
good.
is a great outcome. He's got Slam, Ghoul. Okay, this might actually not be over. He's in revenge range if he can ever draw it, which is pretty doable.
Yeah.
With
There's
revenge.
12 cards left.
But with 2 brawls down, it's just open season for the Shaman player. You can Thing from Below, Thunder Bluff, do whatever you want. Feral Spirit. Well, maybe not Feral Spirit. Because of the revenge.
He can pretty much play with it. Play whatever he wants. Parker, if he's lucky, he's only got Force of Will's down to 6 cards left in his deck, so.
Yeah. Well, here's Barongeddon. It's not the greatest. What can Parker do?
Draw first. There's an execute.
Yeah, I think he'd rather execute the Thunder Bluff, though. Ugh. But, yeah, Barongeddon's really not doing anything. If he executes the Thunder Bluff... Okay, he's not going to tank up along with it, then. That's interesting. I would have thought the tank up could have happened.
Well, he's going to call it.
Alright.
So it's one game for Force of Will. His Shaman won.
Well, depending on the other archetypes that Force of Will brought, this warrior might have better opportunities. Those cold lights really didn't work out in that particular matchup, at least.
Yeah.
They were drawn very early, and they were hesitant to be played.
Yeah. We also have to remember that Parker doesn't have to queue that warrior back up if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he's got four decks to pick from now, so...
He's going to go back with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it should... If this is any sort of control warrior that Force of Will is playing, which it's not, then this warrior should be favored.
It looks like
Parker kept the Justicar and is safe in doing that because he gets rewarded with Fiery War Axe and Bash.
Yeah. But Force of Will's got a good opener right here.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm guessing you just go with the champion. I could see reason to be doing the Fairy Dragon, but that's just me. Because outcomes are about the same against Fiery War Axe.
Yeah. The only thing Fairy Dragon in this matchup is going to be safe from is like a Slam or a Bash.
Yeah. So, of course, you just play the Fairy Dragon out here.
It looks like he's thinking of armoring up. Protect that Fairy Dragon. Save it. Yep.
Seems... The War Axe has to get swung eventually. It's an interesting thought. Parker decides to just armor up, thinks this coin is valuable, doesn't want to get the Elise out there. Makes enough sense.
So I've not personally seen this particular warrior played before. That's probably because I haven't played a bunch of ladder lately. But is it just build up a bunch of armor, fatigue him?
If the game ever gets to the fatigue stages, they basically lose because there's a combination when discounted properly with Emperor that basically can deal, depending on how deep in fatigue, it can do upwards of 60 damage or so. It pairs Violet Illusionist, Brand, and 2 Cold Lights to deal massive damage, basically.
Okay, so there is a Violet Illusionist in here. That's what I was expecting. Okay, yeah, I didn't see it. We didn't see it
missing
this
piece
last game.
Of the puzzle.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see how it works out. Control warriors in general do pretty well against dragon warriors like this. It's in a pretty good state right now, and tank up is a huge deal. It ought to favor, but we'll see. Decides to get this Icker, just because why not get a 2/2?
Yeah.
Makes enough sense.
There's going to be very few targets for it later.
Right. And it's one of the better ways to activate execute if it's still in there, but
Yeah, I don't, is
I would think they'd still be running it.
yeah, I'd expect so.
Yeah, so just gonna trim down the board a little bit, maybe answer with Gorehowl or Brawl, depending on what happens next turn. You gotta be concerned about Brawl if you're Force of Will. So to play 4 minions total on the board would be a little too much. So I'm wondering if there's just armor up here.
It looks like he's going to play it safe and
There's
fully
just no
working.
need to extend to this many minions. You're dealing enough damage as it is. So Parker's thinking about doing a Brawl with the Armor Smith, or no, he'll follow up with it depending on what lives, it seems
I
like.
think he was counting mana for Armor Smith with double ghoul.
Ah. Oh yeah, that could have been decent.
Would have cleared the Azure Drake and the
Mhm.
Slime, or the Ooze. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was one off for that.
So Force of Will is not nearly close to getting this Draconoid Crusher activated yet, so having C Brawl, you could just populate the board a little bit more. I'm thinking even Frothing would be fine, but wants the guarantee on getting the Draconoid Crusher enabled, which I don't know if that's that valuable, honestly, against Warrior, but
not with executes, and granted, he hasn't seen it yet, but so what do you think of the Emperor here?
Emperor seems decent. Gorehowl would have felt a little scary because you're taking a lot of damage up front and guaranteeing that you will next turn also.
Yeah.
So no Grom here is good news for Parker. Looks like it's just going to be a big Frothing. How big though? Is he going to do Ichor Ghoul? I mean, that makes for a huge Frothing, but I don't know how worthwhile it is. Because like it's damaged for 1.
Yeah, is he gonna be in
revenge range at 19 health, taking 8 damage? Yeah, unless Force plays around it. He knows the revenge is in there. To push face with both of these would be a huge mistake.
It looks like he did. Yep.
All right. Well, that 3 health Frothing is dead now. The only thing to do would be to figure out a way to deal with the Guardian, which I don't know about doing like a 2 ghoul deal. Yeah, this is probably just way better.
At least armor up, yeah.
Do you have the artifact? Armor made to fit.
Yeah, just this is fine. Should be safe here. If there was no Grom last turn, then
He's still got the execute in hand to answer any 6 mana 9/9s.
Yeah, Forcible is going to have to play it at this point. There's no way to really close out the game other than that. Is that Guardian? Oh my god.
He's going to execute the Armor Smith?
That is an executed Armor Smith. I really don't know about that. I don't think you can ever...
I mean, I understand, not wanting him to get a lot of armor, but he's already got the tank up. I mean, he's going to get a lot of armor.
Yeah. Right, yeah, I don't know. The armor threat from Armor Smith really isn't that high. Like, the main armor threat is tank up.
Yeah.
Armor Smith isn't that great these days.
Do we think this Fairy Dragon gets played ever? He's had that in his since his opening
really
game, right?
Curious.
Yeah. He's saving it. He's just gonna bash that hero power pass, I would assume.
Yeah, I think so too. There's no reason to do anything other than that at this point. Even like just getting the Gorehowl out isn't necessary. There's always going to be time for it now. To be fair, Force of Will hasn't found any of those big threats, like no Ragnaros, no Grom, no Onyxia, or anything like that.
These did. A lot of Dragon Warriors still run Deathwing. don't know
Yeah,
if his
definitely.
is.
Could be possible. Yeah, so now the Gorehal's equipped. I doubt there's any weapon removal. Dragon Warriors really can never fit it in.
Well, there's some draw for him. He knows that he's going up against this fatigue deck. I don't know how much he wants to draw. I would assume he played the first Fierce Monkey. Do you think he's got the Curator in here? No, a lot of lists have that in there.
Yeah, I would imagine that's the case. We saw the Fierce Monkey, so it's basically for sure.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Refreshment vendor. He's not not healing. I mean, this game is with Shield Slam and Execute in hand. It's really and tank up every turn, and solid minions, solid gore howl, solid life total. It really seems hard to imagine a way that the Dragon Warrior can come back. Like, where's this Gorkon even go? Face, I guess, but
is he gonna trade? Looks like he trades with the Elise.
mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, because the alternative was going to be that the Ravaging Ghoul would just trade, which is obviously slightly worse.
Yeah, but this Gorehouse just put in so much work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's very little this he can do here.
Now the Fairy Dragon finally gets played. I'm really surprised it didn't get played on turn 3.
That is the one he just top decked though. The one in his hand is still the. He's gonna go ahead and drop the Baron Geddon.
Alright, I'm arguing too much. I have no idea why I'm typing in chat.
Typing in chat. I haven't even pulled up chat.
Yeah, I usually just have it to the side for like technical things, but let's get that out of here. Because everything seems to be going well now. Yeah, Force of Will is just going to wrap it up. So good that Warrior won. Not in the way that it was intended to, but Force of Will didn't end up bringing the decks that it really thrives against. Like, basically any deck that would ever go to Fatigue just loses automatically. And there's nothing that can be done about it unless part of the combo got milled. So Parker can play whatever he wants between Mage, Paladin, and Shaman. And that's a huge benefit because...
What do you think he's gonna queue up next? He still got the...
I would imagine Paladin.
Paladin.
But that could be wrong.
You expect Force of Will to re-queue that Warrior?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, looks like there's some technical difficulties on the stream.
No, there's
yes.
Not. People just have crappy internet.
He had to reload Hearthstone. But that's okay.
Hey.
And so it looks like Parker is gonna queue up the Paladin, and then
it makes total sense. The Paladin should be favored or even.
And then Force of Will did re-queue the Warrior.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with Dragon Warrior. In the end, it's bound to find a win at some point. It just needs to do its thing slightly better than anyone else can stop it, and it's a very consistent deck. So keeping 2 Twilight Guardians has Bookworm. That'd be useful against Doomsayer at some point. So Parker's got anything. I'm going to break out my calculator because this is sick.
This is going to be a good matchup.
I love me anything. Alright, we got the calculator. We're going to have constant, live, accurate damage counts.
And he's already got two of the Murlocs in hand, which is that bodes well.
Two of the Murlocs plus anything. Against this type of deck, if you ever had any combination of Murlocs, like 3 or so dead, and you had 2 anythings, you would always play it for the most part. It should turn out really well. Just playing the Doomsayer here makes a little sense. with both Murlocs, you can sometimes pair them together to kill something a little bit more threatening than a 2 health minion.
Yeah. Luckily, Parker's not going to get this
Bookworm.
Doomsayer's going to go off. But
Yeah, it would have to get executed, and that would be a huge mistake for what limited removal Dragon Warriors have.
the only thing I was afraid of being on the coin is he has Corcoran. But he top decks a Solemn Vigil.
Yeah, he would have had to coin it out then. Yeah, that would have been the one answer. Nothing else really was going to do it. So yeah, Solemn Vigil is playable at 2 mana. Although I think hitting the face with the Fairy Dragon is still correct. You don't really want to miss out on that damage just to deny like this 1/1 here.
All that would have denied, yeah, was that 1/1. So
So that's really nothing. The 3 damage is always going to win out over that. Keeper of Oldemon. That's kind of interesting.
well, he could clear it with the or no, he couldn't. It's +2/+1. So looks like he's gonna go that route anyway and just play
I don't
on out
mind
there.
this. Yeah, you definitely hit in because if the War Leader were to die, then the Bluegill is just no good. So Force of Will still got that coin. I think the Bookworm could get considered here to try and get more mileage out of this Twilight Guardian. Force of Will seems to agree.
I like that play.
Drewman learns that you can't play Hearthstone on your phone while hosting the stream. Says Jedi.
Is that what it was? He logged into another.
I have no idea, but yeah. It can't be in Hearthstone on 2 different ones.
What would you take here?
Ivory Knight comes down. Probably. It's too bad you can't hide these options. What health? Parker's at a decent health total at the moment. I think Enter the Coliseum might
At
be the way to
24?
go. Yeah,
He
Enter the
took
Coliseum. Get the biggest heal. Get the board clear. Now Force of Will knows that it's a 6 mana one, so there's Avenging Wrath and
Well, no, he could. It could be anything 6 or above.
6 or above, so it could be Lay on Hands or anything, but you don't really care about those options because they're not going to be as threatening to you, I think. So I wouldn't even consider those playing a deck like this. If I was playing Control Warrior, I might think about, well, you'd always be thinking about the 3rd anything because that's
Yeah.
terrifying. So you have to, but so the trades don't really work here, but at the same time, I think Force of Will is concerned about overloading the board, maybe? It seems
Yeah.
fine. I don't know why you'd attack and then draw, but... Because a Blood Dicker could have really changed things.
That Blood Dictor would have been the one card.
So it's always worth doing that. Now, what would happen if the Enter the Coliseum were played here? It would be a board clear.
Would clear the board, yeah.
Because the Ivory Knight would win and the Azure Drake would win. There's no randomness. You get your attack in as well. It's a shame there's no Solemn Vigil to pair with it. But this is going to give Parker a good chance to hopefully transition into Tyrion next turn. So, yeah, it's a pretty good idea to clear the board.
He's gonna do the Alexstras's champion. Do you think he goes wide here or plays
I
looks
I
like the
think
taunt?
Twilight Guardian's a good way to go. I don't know why you would ever do the Corruptor, even though it's mana efficient and just you would die to True Silver. Seems kind of weird, but yeah, Tyrion's really solid here. Parker's gonna get Ashbringer, and he's gonna have the heal to back it up with Light Lord at least. I think
So he's
Force of
gonna-
Will might use Execute, or just trade in here with the axe. Or the.
So he's gonna go ahead and execute it.
I'm actually not sure why you'd execute. The Corruptor just seemed so
Yeah,
good.
I don't know what he's saving the Corruptor for.
Like the Corruptor is just a much better alternative than the Execute there. You get the body. Sure, you have 3 minions on board, but I think that's a fine amount. Huh. Now this board's just dead to Consecrate. Parker's getting pretty low himself though from this Grom.
Now, do you
Forcible
think?
might. Maybe
do
he
you
wants the
think-
Corruptor for face.
Yeah, it's possible. Now, do you think playing the Blood to Ichor um, to ping off that Divine Shield could have been a misplay having Grom in hand? Knowing he's going to be getting an Ashbringer?
Maybe. Yeah, it was worth thinking about. What other way could there have been to take out the shield? I guess by using your board weapon and Blackman Corruptor would have been the way to go.
Yeah.
Or just your board weapon and execute or something along those lines.
He could have done it the same, yeah.
Yeah.
If he had equipped the weapon, he wouldn't have missed out on any
Yeah, Grom's gonna be tricky. Grom's gonna be really tricky to pull off with that Ichor gun. I'm thinking you just Corcoran here, but is he taking out the 1/1?
I think he's killing this. Yeah,
Okay.
he's-
I'm not
Killing
sure
the
what
dude.
I'm not sure what the 1/1 was really doing there, but yeah, I think this will be a really good opportunity for Light Lord, especially since the execute got used.
And this ooze is really good too, because that's gonna force him to have. If he does have another execute, he's gonna have to run something into that.
Yeah, it'd be really hard. Yeah, this is a tough spot because the Rag Light Lord's just going to be guaranteed to heal Parker every turn. So to prevent that, you'd have to do something like
You'd have to run something into that Light Lord.
yeah, you'd have to run the champion into the Rag Light Lord or something, and just nobody wants that. It just feels so inefficient and dumb. He saw the Peacekeeper. I mean, you could just try and go for the Grom on the ooze or something, but that's bound
Take out
to
the ooze.
fail at this point. But what else is Grom doing? I don't know. It's a tough spot. I think Force of Will had a good chance and could have been a little more aggressive and used the execute differently, but yeah, once Paladin stabilizes, it can feel kind of hopeless.
Yeah. And if
There's
he's
a very
tracking,
narrow window.
if he's tracking cards, he knows that he's held 3 cards in his hands for a good while.
Yeah, see, this poor Corcoran just had the suicide there. And now Parker's got a 3rd Murloc. In fact, he might Keeper of Oldham on this. Really unnecessary, but he could guarantee the heal. It's completely unnecessary, though. You don't need the heal that bad. And, yeah.
And now that Grom can't even kill it. Now to kill it, he's going to have to Grom and then execute.
That's
That's
just
just
a game-losing play. Because at
so
that point,
bad.
the Grom's dead to the recruit. He's gonna do it, though.
He is.
Has to. Oh, man, it's painful. It's so painful. In fact, Parker might even just suicide the Murloc and play anything. Or no, you just play anything like this.
Yeah.
Duh.
Doesn't.
Strictly better. Because you get immediate damage off the War Leader. And yeah, Force of Will has to remove something. Otherwise, just dead.
He has to take out a War Leader.
Yeah, that'd be the way to go. And then the 6/6 Crusher, sure. So that's 12 damage over there, but the top deck Bluegill Warrior is lethal?
Yeah, that's lethal. He'll have...
I think Parker wouldn't live it down if he missed lethal again. Now that Keeper of Oldemons an extra 1 damage.
Yep. And it's really interesting the way that works, how it sets it to 3/3 and
Yep. But the aura remains.
Yep.
And works independently. Like they're never stacking. It's just always taking the original stats. It's weird. Sometimes you flip things, stats get weird, like with Alchemists and Stormwind Champions and things like that.
I played a lot of Alchemist and Zoo for a while when Hunters decided to run Doomsayer all the time for some reason. And there was a lot of interesting ways that interacts with like Direwolf Alpha. So what do you think? Parker still has his Shaman and Mage?
Shaman and Mage. Well, I know what Parker's Mage is, and I think that he's just gonna play the Shaman.
He does queue up the Shaman.
The Mage, let's just say the Mage would not be too happy to run into this Warrior. Even less happy than the Shaman is. So Force of Will, this is the third time queuing the Dragon Warrior. Also has Paladin, but just really wants to knock one out with this.
Parker's opening hand is a little
Yeah.
heavy, but he has the Spirit Claws, so...
Yeah, leave something to be desired, but you totem up enough, and you've got bodies for the Flame Tongue, you've got odds to get Spirit spell power, and you're making the thing from below cheaper. So yeah, the hand's not great, but Parker's time won't be wasted in making all these totems.
No.
Taunt totem's pretty alright, but yeah, it's a little tricky. Parker could...
So what do you think about the monkey there over the frothing?
Monkey over the frothing. I think given that there's no way to punch through the taunt totem immediately, it's a decent call, because frothing you really want to be pushing damage with. It doesn't seem like that was going to be the case, at least anytime soon here. If you had chargers in hand, I think the frothing would be better. Yeah, so Parker gets a really good roll there. Decides to get going with the Flame Tongue, which unfortunately Force of Will can't answer. They would definitely like to if they could, but this ought to hold, at least in theory.
Now the Flame Tongue and then thing from below?
Yeah, Flame Tongue thing from below seems pretty reasonable. Could also just totem and get a free one next turn, because the totem is just really good with these Flame Tongues. Look at these Flame Tongue Crocolisks here. I'm not...
You haven't seen Fiery War Axe, but I think I would probably play the thing from below here.
I guess Parker's reasoning is that next turn the play is going to be Tuskar Totemic, which a lot of lists have cut, but Parker's still running one, I believe. And yeah, the thing from below is going to be free next turn.
Yeah.
I could definitely see just running it out there for 2 mana. It's really hard to argue with a 2 mana 5/5 with taunt. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But he forgoes it for now. So thinking Shapeshift should generally be the right way to go.
Looks like he's just gonna clear the taunt totem here.
Yeah, I guess so. The Twilight Guardian was an interesting option. It might have resulted in one of these Flame Tongues dying, but
yeah, it just feels bad, man, playing a 2/6.
it does. Oh my god, and he gets the spell power. Although he had a 1 in 3 to reroll if he didn't. Yeah, I think the way Parker played it into this turn was kind of smart. Assuming either of these Flame Tongues lived, he's just making so much for them to capitalize off of.
So where do you place this thing from below?
Probably over by the Searing Totem. It's the most likely to die, so you'd get shifted over next to a Flame Tongue. A Ravaging Ghoul would be really good, but
yeah, it would.
No such luck. This ought to be a pretty favorable matchup for the Warrior, but it's just kind of spiraled out of control. A Ravaging Ghoul was 100% needed here to catch up.
Yeah, he needs.
At least he killed that Flame Tongue, though. Not the worst. It's actually decent, but it's not like a huge swing. And I think Parker's just gonna go for Fire Elemental, it would seem.
I like it. You're already so far ahead, and you know you're not running into a brawl or anything. You've seen pretty much every card in this.
Yeah, you know what kind of deck you're playing against. Yeah, the toteming up would have been great, because you could have extra things to buff for Thunderbluff Valiant, but it's really not even necessary at this point.
You're gonna clear out the
Flame Tongue, yeah, just so those totems don't trade, but Oh, they will. If Thunderbluff has his way. Is that just
He has 10, and he's gonna
9 plus
get an
4?
extra.
2 damage off.
He's 1 damage off.
Oh yeah, it is 1 damage off.
Yeah. Because
I
he
think you
had 10
killed
on board.
I think you killed Corcoran. Or Frothing, actually, because Ravaging Ghoul could actually give him lethal.
Yeah. Ravaging Ghoul is those. You gotta
Like
be
a
careful.
double.
Oh, and there it is.
A double. I think not the 1 would have been enough, but 2 could have done some damage.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If he left, yeah.
So with
can
1
he-
here... Oh, he doesn't even have a dragon to taunt. It's really important. If you hero power either of these, you're just dead. Right?
Yeah, he's just.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a way he could stop that.
No.
So that means MV Parker's gonna take it 3-1.
Yeah, Shaman just kind of doing what it does.
And so that seals the victory for Team Rank 5, I believe. You're gonna go up to
yeah, it
14
should. That's
points.
It's a 14-6 at the moment, so no.
Yep. No way Danger Zone will be able to come back from that. And so who do we have on our next game? We have Dirus Bear and Damage
and
Ones.
Tranador. So we're actually featuring some subs tonight. The first was Force of Will. Now we got Tranador.
I thought Tranador was on Synergy.
Oh yeah, just a new sign for Synergy. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys, they're gonna get started on doing screenshots. So we're gonna have to see about that. So Dirus Bear is on the damaged ones as their
Tranador's
reseed.
Synergy.
And yeah, the damaged ones are they're living the life right now. They've got an 8-0 lead against Synergy, so there's really no pressure on Dirus Bear going into this one.
So, a Tranador has not accepted my friend request, and it shows Dirus Bear as away. So,
Yeah, Dirus Bear's away, but Dirus Bear was talking to me. Tranador also has not accepted my friend request, so I'm gonna talk to Dirus Bear.
yeah, this one, like you said, Synergy's not doing so well right now. So the damage one's fairly commanding lead at this point. Tranador, God's Gift, and Dexter all would have to win out to save this. So
Yeah, it would take a lot. Yeah, so I guess at this point we can just resend the good old friend request. Just in case it got denied because maybe we looked strange, I don't know. Yeah, so Dirus Bear has Druid, Mage, Shaman, Warrior. Seems like a lot of people started to bring Mage.
yeah, Mage definitely saw the biggest uptick after the nerfs.
Yeah, it did. And then Dirus Bear is sticking loyal to Druid. Whether Dirus Bear is still loyal to Yogg, we'll have to find out. And Tranador is coming in new for Synergy with Hunter, Shaman, Warlock, Warrior, which is kind of the familiar, which a lot of people stuck to.
Yeah.
Things have changed, but it's more of a decrease in power level and archetype variety for some.
Who did Tranador replace? Redmarsh?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he was in SPL last season if I remember correctly.
Were they? I'm not sure.
I believe so, but I can't remember for sure. Maybe not. Maybe I was. Yeah, but so we're just waiting on this match to start.
Yeah, so yeah, they have Drewman as a friend, but they don't have us. So, but we do have bans Tranador banned Shaman for Dyrus Bear. Dyrus Bear banned Hunter. Going into the Hunter Shaman Warlock Warrior matchup. And we've seen this before. I don't know. I feel like people always regret when they don't ban Shaman with a lineup that's including things like Druid, but maybe Mage has something to... I don't know. How does a Mage do against Shaman? Seems good.
Yeah, if they get off to a good start, it's hard to come back from. Especially with Rockbiter gone.
Right.
Rockbiter was such a good answer to Mana Worms. I'm still waiting on a friend request, so
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like the not banning of Shaman. I really like banning Shaman. It's not that it's favored against everything, but it has such a good shot at winning against just about everything.
Yeah, Shaman it just always has a chance. You can start out behind, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, come extremely cheap thing from belows, and you can just swing back. There's also numerous AoE options now, which are really relevant in a lot of matchups.
Yeah. But
apparently we are accepted, but I don't see them.
I do not have any. I do not have him on my list right now.
Huh. Well, alright. At least I know that I don't have anything to worry about for the next match.
Yeah, I've got
Got Arcane, got Bork.
Yep. Right at the top.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is it'll be interesting to see what Arcane and Bork ban with they have very similar decks brought but respectively.
Yeah, they both have Warrior. That's about it, though. Druid, Mage, Shaman, Warlock. I don't know. Leaving Shaman and Warlock up together, you can try to target the Swarmy strategy, but Druid doesn't do so well at it. So I think Druid will be the limiting factor for Dyrus Bear. But we'll have to see. I'd really like to be added.
They started playing?
Oh, it's Tranador with a 0.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh. Well, shame on us.
Alright, so I've sent him a friend request now, so maybe we'll get added here.
Well, they must have had themselves listed incorrectly on the site. I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's on the website. It's showing just an O, no 0.
Yeah.
So did you get added there?
Still waiting on them to start. Yeah, I got Tranador now. Wow, Tranador rank 6 already. That's where I'm at. Yeah, so they can start whenever.
Yeah. Yep. So I have him now too, showing them both as a way though. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. Whenever Shaman's not banned, it just seems right to lead with it. It's just so. In fact, I was even surprised to see people at the EU last chance today not banning Shaman. I don't know. It's a very difficult class to target still, and as far as bad matchups go, they're pretty rare. So it's interesting. It's the most common ban one for a reason. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's. You scroll through the list of weeks. I mean, you just see a stream of blue.
All right, they're in finally. Whew.
Okay.
We got there. We got there. Okay. So Tranador starts out with Warlock, and Dire Spare looks to have a good starting matchup here. Assuming it's Zoo.
With the Soulfire.
Yeah, that's a
I,
Zoo, and it's all
I would
good.
expect it's Zoo. Yeah.
All right, so Warrior.
What do you
looks
feel
like
about
some
not
control.
opening with the Shaman there?
I don't know. I'm guessing Tranador feels favored when it comes to Warlock against both Druid and Mage, which is pretty reasonable. Might also just be randomizing ordering. We can't really know. This is a really good hand for Dire Spare. Wow.
How do you feel about tossing the Voidwalker there?
The Voidwalker. I don't know. I'm a fan of keeping a good number of 1-drops as Zoo, but against a Warrior, maybe not so much.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, I know
try
if
to
I
look-
have like 3 1-drops in my hand, I'm generally gonna just keep it.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Yeah, I'm not actually sure about even coining out the War Axe. I guess the Slam is a follow-up, but I'm not sure it's always one that you're happy about. Might opt to go for it here instead of using the weapon. You don't always really expect to cycle a Slam against a Zoo. And I think that's fine. I really like keeping a War Axe because between the War Axe and the Ghoul and the Bash, you can answer any 3-drop. At least somewhat.
Yeah, with the Ghoul, I mean, an Imp Gang boss is tough to deal with, and that Ravening Ghoul with the War Axe equipped is a really good way to answer it.
Yeah, I don't know. I question a little bit of the decision making. I've been playing a lot of Warrior, and I really try to think about the coin and just like using different removal pieces. If the follow up to coin War Axe's armor up, I don't know. Just feel like something could have gone better with a hand like this, but yeah, it's all gonna pan out fine. You have Bash here
Yeah, you just bash the 3/2.
on the Flame Imp. You need to clear one, and it might as well be the Flame Imp because Argus, of course, is a threat. Not even because we see it, but because it's just something you should think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tranador, even though like things favor the Warrior very much here in the early game, but if that Malkazar's Imp and Doomguard get held onto to get played together on turn 6, it really opens up a different kind of thing that we're not used to. Do you like the Argus on just the one Peddler?
That's what he's gonna go with. I probably would have tapped.
Tapped in Voidwalkers?
Yeah.
I think
I'm
tapping
thinking-
would have been fine.
See what you got from it.
Mm-hmm.
So got a Flame Imp, so.
Mm-hmm. Whoa!
Oh, whoa! What do you?
That
Whoa!
is unacceptable in my opinion.
Yeah. Wow.
I think if you've got Doomguard and Malkazar's Imp, they are best buddies and they ought to be played together. It's just there was a 50-50 there not to discard Malkazar's Imp, but it's really not a 50-50 you could afford to take. And if there was an execute, this would be GG.
Yeah, that was. I was never expecting that Doomguard to come
was
down
quick, too.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
He
quick.
went straight for it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty decent answer though. I like this. I like the Slam. Find a little bit more. Second Slam now contests this. Okay, well, second Doomguard. I might have liked the Flame Imp.
Well, this
You
is
know?
just gonna have to be brawled, right?
Yeah, I would tend to agree because nothing else really looks good because the taunt's in the way. So I guess that was good to play, but yeah, that's probably right actually. So there's a 50-50 outcome of the brawl that's very good. One of them being your own minion, one of them being the taunt. If the 5/4 lives, you can hopefully do something about it, like cycle into a shield block. Well, this is just the worst outcome, but yeah. So it looks like the pressure is going to keep coming. Dire Spare has ways to survive. Shield Slam would be most appreciated of anything, so I gotta think you... I thought it might have started with the shield block.
Yeah.
So if you War Axe that down, that wolf, and shield block... Honestly, I'm not even sure if this... Maybe you should just shield block first, because the sequencing won't matter, like destroying your armor. Because that's a given next turn anyway.
There's
Oh.
the shield slam.
Wow, so this might actually stabilize. It's really hard to believe. That was insane. Not many zoos running PO in the discard variant, but there it is. Even just gonna go for it right now.
He's gonna rip that. And this is
So-
where at this point of the game is where I feel like saving that Doomguard Malkazar Zimp.
Oh, yeah.
You could have. You're not in this top deck war.
Yeah, that would have just been a completely different game. I think Trinidor wound up in a fine spot because of the second Doomguard, but I think it would have been 100% win if those cards got saved to be played together on turn 6. Oh,
Did he-
man.
Tauren Bash, the 3/3, and armor up.
Yeah, seems good because the
You won't
The
be able to get
zoo-
through it.
the zoo at this
Both
point,
of them.
with both Doomguards gone, the only way to get through that taunt really easily would be Soulfire.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe a Dire Wolf or Abusive to get through, but
Yeah, and you're
Still
still
kinda-
out of lethal range.
yeah, man, it's close for Dire Spare.
And he's gonna take his time here, and
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
Yeah, if this Tauren,
He's gonna
This is-
War Axe this.
this is also an option, but if this was going to be the case, it should have happened first, like a lot.
You wanna hold up as much armor.
Yeah, that second shield slam might come, and it might be extremely important for it to be, like equal to 5 or something to kill a councilman, maybe. Alright. Always good to be playing the librarian with no downside. So, this Baron
So
Geddon...
how do you feel about playing that the imp there?
The imp, seems good. I think you just play whatever you can at this point to try and eke in as much damage as possible. Like, just to have multiple minions on board for a possible, like, Defender of Argus or Dire Wolf. Like, everything could matter. I think it's fine. Plus, the Doomguards are gone. So this is Infested Tauren, and what else? I'm just wondering where the axe is going. Okay. Yeah, I like it. It's optimistic and it's game winning to hope that the librarian's damage will get soaked up by the Tauren. Should definitely be tapping here though. Yeah, see, there's the
So he does
councilman.
have the councilman, yeah.
That could end up being a problem. You gotta
Okay,
attack
so-
this first.
Yeah,
right?
why do you're drawing last there?
Oh,
He
see the
missed out.
juggler there.
That-
Yeah, two juggles were missed, and they could have killed that. And now the
Yeah.
revenge. Oh my god, that's a board clear. Oh, don't do it first. You gotta send that slime into the councilman. Wow, that damage lost Soulfire as a possible out. I think you just play Sylvanas, right?
It still leaves room for armor up.
Yeah, just
I
play
like it.
Sylvanas. Might be relevant at some point with Baron Geddon, honestly. Wow, this game is really...
And
This
there's
game
the
has gone
Soulfire.
places. Wow. So if the juggler had been played first before those other cards, it would have dealt extra 2 damage. So this would not be lethal, but
Well, it would have been if he had killed the
tap right
2/2.
into that second Soulfire.
if he had killed the 2/2, he would still have the other minion up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then do you just drop Elise here, or do you drop Harrison?
I'd opt for the Harrison. I think that the most damage, the better. It sets up lethal. Although I guess Baron can technically would too, but not necessarily. Oh my god, there's the other Soulfire, but needs a juggle.
So he'll need a 1-in-3 juggle to win the game.
Yeah. So Soulfire here and then tap into. I mean, like, people aren't running Forbidden Ritual, but oh my god, it could be a 1-in-3. Oh my god.
Here we go.
Is it it?
Oh.
Okay, no, it's not, and that is going to be lethal because of Revenge.
Yep.
So now, yeah, all the missed damage ended up mattering huge because
It was
Bear is
huge.
sitting here at 1 health.
Yep.
It would have at the very minimum been 2 extra damage, and I don't even know. Like, to think back to that, the Doomguard that got popped out on 5 that got rid of the Imp. Like, there were just so many. Like, the Zoo should have won this game every time.
He got him down so low. The drawing last with the dark
The Juggler.
Well, yeah, with drawing the juggler. What is it? The Darkshire Librarian. Is that what it's called? The Librarian.
Yeah, Darkshire Librarian.
Yeah. Drawing last with that cost him the game.
Right, yeah,
Like
because
100%.
if that was always going to trade into the Tauren, then it should have been done first.
So
yeah,
many.
I don't know, the discard Zoo, I think it's really powerful. I
mean,
like it a lot. It's tricky to play though. Man, it's it's really tricky.
I mean, I guess the thing trying to think if there was a card that he would have drawn that would have been bad to have other cards in your hand for, but he was on 10 mana, I believe, so I don't think there was any way he was going to get punished for having cards in his hand.
Yep.
You know?
Right.
So now so Dire Spare has
Druid and Mage.
one with Druid and Mage left. Do you expect to see that Zoo come back out? He's
Yeah,
gonna go
I
Shaman.
wouldn't mind requeuing the Zoo at all. I think its best matchups were what it didn't play against, but yeah, Shaman you can never really go wrong with. Against Druid, this should be very challenging. Trenador is really quite a fan of the gold.
Yeah, I don't have enough, not enough dust for that.
No, I mean to invest into crafting the adventure cards is quite a bit. I like to, if I open a card that's golden and I like it, I might work to craft a second golden one. Like I did that for Healbot.
Oh boy, Dire Spare's still running, y'all.
Alright,
Let's
Dire
go.
Spare still believes.
He believes. Alright, so he's got the Tunnel Trog. Dire Spare has nothing right now to answer it.
Yeah, the Innervate's great, but might have to get held off for something else. Like ramping with Nourish with a hand like this seems likely, I would say. The card draw is just not going to be the way to go.
Yeah. Well, that gives him a way to deal with the 1/2, but do you even like that here?
It all depends on how scared you are of the Feral Spirits. I like the Innervate Nourish ramp because you can hero power the Tunnel Trog, and then if there was a bad case, then
Swipe.
it'd be set up for swipe, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Like-
that looks really good.
Like with a Flame Tongue or something. That's assuming no Healing Totem.
Yeah.
No Healing Totem, please. I think you try to roll a Totem here. That's a really slow and reactive hand. Just coin out Flame Tongue.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's good for now, but the follow-up's just not there yet. But I guess the top decks can't be bad either. You Moonfire that spell power totem?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
If he's running Moonfire, I'm assuming there's Malagos in here.
I would think so too. Yeah, it's not much of a threat. Maybe something to do before you Yogg.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was he thinking about the? Okay, no, he's just.
Oh, the Maelstrom portal just for the random dude.
He hovered it for a second, but
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it'd be something to do because some druids have transitioned over to the token way.
Yeah.
For now. Yeah, just an empty turn here. Really nothing worth reacting to.
That's a good card. That's a good pickup for Tranador.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, but he's
Ooh,
gonna go.
That's ballsy.
Uh,
I like a guaranteed Thunder Bluff. I agree in a sense that Druid doesn't really have an obvious way to deal with something like this, but 8 mana is a lot. And Druid cheats. And this is a cleared Thunder Bluff, no? Feral Rage and
yes,
Moonfire?
sure. Yeah.
Huh. I think that's
Yeah,
that
I
was just gonna be
usually-
Azure Drake every time.
Yeah, you could, as slow as your hand's been, I think the Azure Drake should have been played there.
Yeah, I
But
just
I
don't,
can see that you're hoping to get a mulch, maybe get a mulch out of him before the.
yeah, just trying to press the issue a little bit earlier. I don't know. It forced the Moonfire out, and that's value, so it's fine.
And it kept the feral rage from giving him armor. I can't
Yeah.
count the number of games I've played where the 16 armor from if they're running two of them ends up being a
Yeah,
really
they
big
usually
deal.
are. Yeah, that ends up being really relevant when it comes to Fandral Staghelm, especially. So cycling the Wrath on the healing totem. I would. Killing the Azure Drake seemed a little
Yeah.
bit better.
I don't know what the cycle did there. He's
So
innervating.
Okay, Innervate Mire Keeper and the Arcane Giant. I don't really know about
This
this.
builds you a big board, but
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
mean, Shaman's got plenty of AoE that's usually not good in this matchup, and you just gave them the green light to do it.
and
What's the
he's
best
got
way to clear?
he's got the blood mage. That's gonna make.
I don't think Blood Mage changes anything. Because the Lightning Storm is at minimum doing 4, and if you played Blood Mage, the most you could do is 6, in which case the Azure Drake is still dying. So,
Yeah. I'm just trying to count without having to overload so much.
oh
could-
yeah,
Cause he could. Yeah, I was trying to see if you could squeeze in the
Oh.
Maelstrom portal.
he rolled high, so yep, Maelstrom Portal is possible.
Yep.
Seems good.
Today, I don't.
Dire Spear has Yogg. Is it necessary now?
He's only looking to take. With the swipe pickup, I don't think so. Yeah, you
Oh
can
yeah,
clear so
definitely.
much.
I think Raven Idol should happen. So, wait, why is Raven Idol not happening?
You've got the mana for it. What do you?
Waiting for that Fandral.
Oh,
Or maybe
yeah,
just some players will actually hold off on Raven Idol to get a better idea of what they're looking for. So giving Tranador a turn to, do something.
Yeah.
It's worth thinking about.
Yeah.
But drawing from your deck is probably better first though. Because I don't know, you just have crazy mana left over.
yeah. Oh, Darish here.
Oh no, it actually is worth thinking about doing the Raven Idol first because you could discover something that'd be too expensive to play, like Starfire or Starfall. If you really want to kill this Harrison, which I don't know, you might kind of low on health.
Yeah, you're facing 8 damage.
Yeah, so maybe see if you can get something and see how much it costs first with the idol. Like swipe would be great. Yeah, there's the Starfire.
Starfire's good.
So good thing that got done first. So there's no space left, and that Living Roots really isn't worth playing in root form.
No. Not against Shaman. Do you just, do you drop
Rag?
Rag here? Yeah.
Oh man, this is so awkward because I don't know if Dire Spear is running mulch. A lot of these lists don't, and
like Yogg just isn't favorable on a board like this because it's so likely that Yogg could just get messed up after the change. This is not a good Yogg board. But I don't know. It just depends on what you can nourish for. Yeah, it seems like Yogg's the thing to do.
Yeah, what are you looking for with Nourish? You would have needed.
I just don't know. Wow, deals the damage to himself. And then Revenge, so Yogg's very close to dying now. The Blizzard's helpful. Betrayal does nothing.
Oh wow.
And that's Siphon
Oh.
Soul not on the Yogg. Okay, that's good because
And
the
then
game
the
would've been over.
And the
Okay,
Shadow
so now
Step.
it's over. It's done. And that's good. That was a good Yogg.
It's a good Yogg.
He did his job.
Don't know if that's even gonna. If he'll still be able to.
Well, it's really awkward now because Tranador knows that Yogg can come again. So do you even want to play these ferals? Do you wanna? Because you know it's probably happening again if you tempt the beast.
Yeah.
At least it's just the one feral. To play two would have just been oof.
He's gonna go for the Yogg again. Let's see. Okay.
Alright, Fists the healing totem. Mind Blast, sure. Divine Favor's irrelevant. Power Glory's fine. Wait, this Yogg got buffed up.
He got an Explorer's hat.
Oh,
Slam
sick.
himself.
What a stylish little old god he is. Oh no.
Oh.
He's taking heat. He's evolved, but he's still Yogg.
Okay, so
Oh,
can
he's
he?
huge. Okay, so now he has to Wrath. He's dead, right?
Well,
Because if you Wrath a Feral Spirit, then you're...
you have to get rid of the spell damage. Well,
But
no,
then
you're
you're
still
still
at 5.
Yeah. Maybe cycling. I mean, you can do it like this, and then you make Tranador wonder about your secret, like Ice Block. Of course, I think they'll go face, because they really can't afford to remove Yogg. Testing for counterspell, thinking about it. He knows it's not that. I played Feral Spirit.
Yeah.
Just gonna end up popping the block, quote unquote.
Oh,
Wait,
he had
what?
the Power Word Glory. He restores the
Oh,
4
the Power Word Glory went on that
Yeah.
Feral Spirit, and oh, okay. Oh,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah, me too. Because just Yogg, you know what? You and me don't get along. So wow, if everything but the Feral Spirit gets cleared, then that's Dire Spirit's safe. Wow. Okay, so Dire Spirit
do that?
killed the Feral Spirit that did not have the Power Glory. Okay. So
He can.
can't really be taking damage.
So he can Drake, Living Roots, the Thunder Bluff, and kill the 2/2, and
Yeah,
then
that
Hero
has to-
Power.
Yeah, to
And he
get
would have been alive.
Okay, here's Moonfire.
Oh,
But now there's
yeah.
not enough mana. Yeah, because the thing is, the Feral Spirit's in the way, so Yogg can't be attacking the...
No, he would have left up just the 1/1.
Just the one would have been left up, but yeah. Yeah,
And
Yogg's only so useful here. It looks like thanks to
Oh, wow.
Raven Idol, a different solution was found.
Yeah, he's playing
Whoa,
so fast.
don't
Yeah.
kill the Feral. I mean, I guess... maybe that makes sense, because it was never going to attack anyway, so just get rid of it. Try to plan to get through to that Thunder Bluff. Eventually, because you really wanna. This is
If
insane.
he ever draws a lightning bolt, this spellbender's gonna save him.
Yeah, it'd have to be Fire Elemental at
Yeah.
this point. Because direct damage is really down there now. For
He's
Shaman.
gonna go ahead and follow this lightning storm.
Just wants to get through the Yogg, because if that happens at any point, like just softening up Yogg makes a lot of sense. Wait, these totems could have been played before the hero power, correct? Did I miss something?
Yeah, first thing he did was hero power. I think he was checking. He was worried about. He was trying to get the.
The spell power, yeah, even the spell power was never going to be enough to get through.
Whoa! Where did that come from?
Hey, it's a taunt. Seems good.
They're a
Malagos also
small.
seems good. I mean, yeah, you can't really hope for gaining armor at this point. I think it's just got to be Malagos Living Roots on the Thunder Bluff.
Kill it and then
Clear the ferals. I don't know if there's anything there. Alternatively, you could Drake and Living Root a Feral Spirit, and then the Arcane Giant could take out Thunder Bluff, and then maybe you're hoping to cycle for a Feral Rage or something. There's no idols left anymore. All right, Dire Spare's just building a wall. And that's a slight mis-sequencing because the Arcane Giant took more damage that way.
Yep. He was running out of time though.
Yeah, the rope was burning. It's tough. So Hex is here, but now there's 2 taunts. And Tranador is overloaded.
Yeah,
So
he's
not much can be done this turn. But Hex is something you want to do, but oh, the Spellbender.
Dire Spare needs to find a way to close this game out though pretty soon.
Yeah, because it's only a
It
matter
looks
of
like-
time, right?
Cause he's down to 6 cards, and he's played 2 Moonfires, both Living Roots, both swipes.
I think it's possible in the long run. Like this Arcane Giant, this Arakoa, they can get it done. So he gets that hat. Alright. Wild Growth. What's even in the deck? I feel like a lot of removal's been used.
Pretty much all of it has. He's still got another Wild Growth, and he's still probably got a Feral Rage, another. There's the Feral Rage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
that's huge.
take-
Wow, that might just be
take 8 armor.
game.
Game
Do you
Drake
play
and
the
just
Drake
8
too?
armor.
Drake 8 armor. Do you need the Drake? Like maybe just hat? Hero
Yeah,
power
maybe hat. Yeah.
a bit more. Not that more armor is really needed. I think you just whatever happens, that Flame Tongue Totem's got to go. I think the Arakoa could trade into it. That'd be fine. But you got to push face with the Arcane Giant. Got to happen. Yeah, that's setting up lethal.
And that looks
Wow.
like that is gonna be lethal.
What a
Dire
ridiculous
Spare.
game. Just one
That
right
was
after
something.
another.
Yeah.
Yogg really saved the day.
Yogg wins.
It was close though.
It was.
So Dire Bear is up 2-0 now. Holy moly.
That. Do you think there was anything in particular there that Tranador could have done to win that game? Or I think those Yogs just pretty much being able to
Yogg
play
decided.
two.
I think
That
Yogg
Yogg-
decided. I mean, of course, the not that Tranador ever had an opportunity to really push face once the Yogg got taunted up and the Arakoa was there, but of course, playing the totems before the Thunderbluff, I think, was right because even with spell power, it was never going to be enough for the AoEs to clear the minions. I think, unless it was going to be Totem Storm Portal, and that was going to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was rough either way.
Yeah, Yogg just
We never saw a lightning bolt either.
figured it
So-
out.
I'm not sure if Tranador's shaman has lightning bolts in it. I don't remember seeing any that game.
No, and no fire elemental. Most lists run one fire elemental. So this looks to be tempo mage, and that's a very good zoo start.
Oh yeah, he's
Definitely start out with the apprentice.
got the nuts right now.
Opens you up for more, but at the same time, like it's a good opener, but you have to trade with this apprentice.
Yeah,
You
you don't
never
want
let
that.
her be up. Yeah, it's getting taken care of decently. I think Forgotten torch. I don't know why you do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if the wolf trades, their board is clear, and that's a good sign for you. But it'll be unfortunate because the cult sorcerer torch is too expensive now.
Yeah, I was about to say that Cult Sorcerer Frostbolt was going to be a great answer to the Imp Gang boss, but it's not going to happen now.
Yeah. It just seemed like
What does he do here? Does he just play the Cult Sorcerer?
Yeah, and ping it. I guess you ping it because it's just going to attack you. So might as well set that up to be a little bit better. And you saw the one wolf, so there's limited sources now on how that one imp could kill. But yeah, this torch just feels awkward now. It'll get played eventually, but I don't know. That frostbolt got used really quick with the sorcerer's apprentice.
Yeah, he's going to take his time, think about his options, think about what he can draw, what he's got in his deck. I think that's smart. I know I tend to play too fast. He's just going to ping face and pass.
I don't think that can ever be the thing that you do.
I don't think you ever...
too passive, although the Azure Drake will contest it, but at that point you gotta figure that that Zoo has a plan to deal with it efficiently.
Amazing.
Don't you? Yeah, like Soul
And now
Fire or Abusive.
Now do you do the Cult Sorcerer torch, or, I mean, you risk
Could.
Cult
I
Sorcerer.
think it has to be.
there.
I think it has to be Drake.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is very long-term planning. Oh, everyone's mad about the Yogg.
The Yogg's going off over here on the delay. Okay,
Well, yeah, I believe that you discover the Malkazar because it's a card you put in your deck, so must be good.
he's just gonna load up the board here, which I'm all for.
I think you definitely do it. Flame Strike's
But it's-
not anywhere near, and a Flame Waker is like that's the main way to get back, and the Imp Gang boss just complicates that. And the 3 health minions are great too.
And after the how passive the past 2 plays were, this is just
Oh my! I think you just had to Drake Missiles and Prey. Well, okay, Arcane Intellect is playable now. If this is the plan. Okay,
there's the
never
strike.
mind. The Almighty Savior is here, and Tranitor's probably going to play around it because.
Heading into turn 7, you've got such a big lead, yeah.
Oh, or you could play into it. Really hardcore.
He's just going all in.
All in. How much damage is that?
Oh, he might have lethal with that Soulfire.
Oh my god!
Yeah, wow. Alright, so Tranito takes a game.
I mean,
He knew he wasn't getting to turn 7.
I think the Iris Bear definitely played that a little too slow, but that was. Wow.
So,
Wow. Alright, well, Tranitor's on the board with Warlock. Still has to beat this Mage with Shaman and Warrior. Not really sure what kind of warrior that is, but if it's any kind of control variant, then it'd be real good.
yeah, so what do you think he's going to queue up first? If it is a control warrior, you think he's going to go with that?
I think so. Tank Up is so good against Mage. And the removal, like, their minions are pretty easy to remove. They don't have that many of them.
No.
So you just kind of deal with them one by one. Their minions are very good, and they generally get something out of them every time. But Warrior's just about as efficient. We'll see.
He did queue up the warrior.
Alright, I'm excited to see what kind it is.
Looks like dragon.
You asked for it.
Yeah.
We don't see any dragons, but that's probably going to be Dragon Warrior.
Mhm.
Dire Spare so far has a couple of good cards in his opener.
Yeah, definitely. You can never really say no to these against Warrior, and it looks like Tranitor hasn't mulliganed yet. War Axe will be the big concern here. Alex Strauss is champion also, if that's the case. If there's dragons to activate her.
Yep. He's still debating on what to mulligan here.
Against
3 drops are alright on the coin against mage. I think there could be some merit to keeping the monkey in the frothing, but I don't know. If you mulligan hard, you're bound to find either champion or war axe a large percentage of the time.
Yeah, I'd be tempted to keep the frothing too. It makes Flame Waker really bad. It makes missiles bad.
Wow, kept the core crown.
Ooh, I guess that's to take out a Flame Waker, I would assume.
That's some long-term thinking.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
This Nizas first
Oh.
mate doesn't seem like it's gonna do much.
With the Ichor now, it's really good.
Yeah.
But you might as well just go with the Ichor. I don't know. I thought that could have been actually slightly better if you had done the first mate and hit prior, because that would guarantee a dead mana worm, right? One way or another. Although it'd be kind of awkward if the mana worm. No, yeah, the mana worm would just be dead.
Yeah, because you'd be able to hit it again. Okay, so he coins out the monkey. And there's the Flame Waker.
Yeah, it seems pretty good. I guess there's really no other alternative here. And yeah, the core crown was kept for Flame Waker. That's your main fear, really.
Well, he's
So
actually he'll be able to answer it with the Nizas first
Ichor.
mate.
Or the mate, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets a lot of flack, the first mate, but he does a pretty good job. I don't know. I think the Waker was fine to play there. You had Fireball to follow up. But Flame Waker's bound to be really good eventually, so. Now the first mate's just kind of mediocre. I don't know why the monkey was coined out. I guess I don't know, the follow-up just didn't really seem to be there. It's fine, though.
So you just
Ping and clear, I guess. If the Waker wasn't played before, I really don't think it would get played now into Korkron turn.
I think you just you even he's gonna do it. He's gonna play the Flame Waker.
Alright. Like, if it was ever going to get played this turn, I think it just should have been played last turn. Because last turn was not much better in putting out the Cult Sorcerer. And this Apprentice just feels bad too, but I don't know. Guess you play it. I don't know. I might have been tempted to hold that Sorcerer back.
Yeah.
I wonder why the Ghoul here, and not Guardian. I guess you want to
Guardian?
get that axe up. Okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
And this Faceless Summoner is probably gonna be pretty good here.
Yeah, I would imagine the minion that gets summoned. It's if it doesn't trade evenly with the Ghoul, then Ping will do it. Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah, just in a position where this Crusher has to get played, the Curator is going to be really.
Yeah,
Nice.
especially if this fire. I'm assuming this Fireball is gonna get played here.
Yeah, now it will. Just fully traded into the Faceless Summoner. Yeah, might as well do the book first. That's kind of neat. Not the best spell that you could get, but it might have some relevance later on. One thing's for sure, Tranador doesn't have Execute in hand, is probably playing the Curator on curve. This thins the
Rag.
deck, but yeah, this Rag could just be sick in the long run. How can it get answered?
He has nothing right now.
Yeah, oh man, that Firelands Portal is pretty tempting, but
And the Fireland Portal does give you a good trade.
yeah, honestly, if Rag goes face, it's not that much of a problem. This Firelands Portal is pretty good. It would only take about one more Fireball at that point, yeah. So it goes face, and Execute gets drawn off the
Oh, did he top deck the Execute?
He needs a good damage activator, though. None of those are that, so the Curator will have to suicide to activate it. You could play. What else gets played this turn? A frothing?
Sorry, someone was at my front door. I had to go see what was up.
That's all right.
All right, so
I think the more mana efficient play was to do the Twilight Guardian, but I think this is fine because you're trading in, so it just powered up the Berserker. I think it's good.
oh, that is a good top deck.
Yeah, with the Azure Drake.
Yeah,
So
Drake.
yeah, Totem's going now for Tranador. Can even squeeze in that Ice Barrier if you want. Do you even want? Maybe you just rather ping.
I just play the Cold Sorcerer.
Yeah, that too. I think so. This Firelands portal's gearing up to represent a serious threat at this point.
And so he can clear the 3/2.
Yeah, I think that's worth doing for sure. And with the taunt in the way is nice. Another frothing, so another threat. It's powered up by all this to beat up the Azure Drake. So that's
That's
never
gonna
mind.
do it.
Yeah, it's just lethal now.
So Dyrus Bear is gonna close
Wasn't the
out
case
this.
before.
So that
Yeah, 3
that
to
is
1.
a 3/1.
3 to 1.
3/1, and that's gonna close out the damaged ones. So far they are up. That's gonna take him up to 12-1 over Synergy right now. Tranador getting the lone point for Synergy right now.
All right. Cool stuff. Those were some interesting games for some things to learn from and some entertainment value to be had.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it definitely goes to show like there's so many small choices you can make just between placement, drawing first, knowing your outs and stuff like that. There was a whole lot of stuff there that you can. Like a lot of people call Zoo a simple deck, but there's a lot of small intricacies, and if you look at matches like the one we just saw with the Warlock versus that Warrior,
Oh yeah.
it matters. Like it matters.
Yeah. Malkazar, Zimp, and Doomguard are good buddies. They should be together.
Yeah.
Alright. So I'm talking to Arcane and Bork right now. Bork, no response. Arcane, ready if Bork is, but Bork, no response. This is our next match, though. And this is the one that is near and dear to you.
This is
there have been 2 matches played between Entropy and the Hairy Generals. This is a huge match.
it is. This is going to be a big one. Currently, Entropy is we have 6. They have 4.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's going to be big because I mean, yeah.
Yeah, a win here could mean very likely sealing the deal for Entropy, especially if it's like a 3-1 at that point. You'd be up 10-5 maybe.
10-5, yeah.
Yeah, so this one should be good. No idea where Bork is though.
He's probably AFK. He's probably getting his Wheaties, preparing for the match.
Yeah, they don't really expect to be playing any sooner than 11 necessarily. So yeah, for now, Arcane has Hunter, Shaman, Warlock, Warrior. Pretty usual lineup. Saw a lot before. It's what I brought. Bork, Druid, Mage, Shaman, Warlock. So another Mage lover there.
Yeah.
Also Druid. Same exact lineup as Dyrus Bear actually. So. Oh
Same
wait.
lineup.
No, it has Warlock instead. Of
He doesn't have the Warrior.
So no Warrior, no Hunter. No Warrior, no Hunter, no Warlock. Not many people are bringing Warlock. Likes the Mage, likes the Druid still. Whether still a loyal Yogg worshipper, we'd have to find out.
Yeah. So do you know? So what do you expect the bans to be?
If I'm bringing Warlock and Hunter, I don't know. I think Shaman should get banned. And if I'm bringing Warlock and Druid,
on Bork's side, I think Shaman should be banned. I just always think Shaman should be banned.
Yeah, it's a. There's very few times when you should not be banning Shaman.
Yeah, ban Shaman. Ban it. Is Bork in the Twitch chat? Oh, he's ready. Okay, cool. They're gonna do screenshots.
Okay, cool. We're getting on here. Well, do you think I know what Arcane's banning? I'd have to go back and check in Discord, but we've talked about it quite a bit.
I hope he's banning Shaman for his own good.
I believe that's what it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I just think Hunter's really rough against Shaman. It's very difficult. Like, I think some people think they can Tekken the good old Unleashed Juggler, but I don't know. I think you need that combo as soon as turn 5 a lot of the time, and if you don't, oof.
Yeah, I don't. I've pretty much cut the jugglers from all my hunter lists.
Yeah, I don't know. So that would be one reason if you didn't ban Shaman, that you've got something crazy up your sleeve like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'll be really interested to see Arcane's Hunter. In fact, we saw all the Hunters that could have been played tonight were banned, actually. And the people who banned Hunter actually wound up winning those series. So I'm going to be interested to see the Hunter and what it's like. 'Cause it's definitely gone through some big changes. Some people just completely think Call of the Wild's garbage. Some people say cut it down to 1, throw in a rag.
Yeah.
People are trying out Secret Hunter now. I see it all over the ladder. Like
Secret Hunters, yeah. I know D. Lineman really likes Secret Hunter, but
does he?
I know he likes it, but like I don't know if he thinks it's like THL good yet or not
Feels
yet.
really inconsistent to me. Although this morning I
Yeah.
lost to a Secret Hunter that was sporting Reckless Rocketeer at rank 8. So
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of talk about whether or not you should be bringing Secret Hunter versus like a mid-range or closer to a hybrid version.
Yeah.
We've definitely been talking a lot about Hunter. Hunter's like the mid-range and the hybrid are so similar. It's hard to tell the difference between them at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Abusive Sergeant was nerfed. Is he playable anymore in Hunter?
I don't think so.
Because he's a huge part of that hybrid package. Although I think Fiery Bat's obviously a really good one-drop. I think Squire's still worthwhile.
Yeah, and they usually run the Argent Commanders as well, right?
Yeah, if it's a true hybrid list, it ought to.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the Argent Commander, so I've always stuck
Or
with
Argent
mid-range.
Horse Rider.
Argent Horse Rider, yeah. Argent Commander's the 6 mana 4/2 charger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Argent Horse Rider.
Yeah, Argent Horse Rider. I think it's all right. But I've always felt that unless the curve is very low, which I don't know, if you drop Call of the Wild entirely, maybe it is. But Hunter's got a lot at 3, so
Yeah. So we're still waiting on them to queue up. I'm guessing they're doing their screenshots now.
they are. Yeah, so I'd expect Shaman bans on both sides, but we haven't seen that. We saw one no ban, and then we saw one Shaman ban, but that did not translate into a win. But yeah, so Entropy and the Harry Generals, how are they in their divisions, respect? Because this is the last week before we go our separate ways and start playing against our own.
Harry Generals, heading into this week, they were a top blue. They were above Aeon. I don't know about how much. I'd have to do some math. And I know heading into this week, we were behind NWA by a few points.
Yeah, it's been close both ways, though, for these two teams.
Yeah.
Although the lead now with how the week is going for Yogg champs in red is between second and third is huge now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this will be interesting because this is the last week.
I mean, Yogg champs still have 3 matches to play, so they can still get a lot of points. But if they have a down week in Entropy or NWA, if either one of us are able to pull out a fairly good win,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna make it difficult to come back. They'd have to win some head-to-head matchups, which I really like the way they formatted this season.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they're
you
in and
have
ready to go.
Oh, well, what'd they ban?
I don't know what they banned.
Ah, Drew, let us know.
And so Arcane looks like he's queued up his. All right, so Arcane said he banned Shaman, and Bork banned Warrior.
Okay, Bork banned Warrior, and Shaman was banned from Arcane. Okay, so banning Warrior with Warlock and Mage, I guess that makes sense. Oh my god. Arcane is playing a really old style of Zoo here. That's interesting. Does he not like the discard version?
I know that that's another thing we've talked about is discard versus the regular one. I lean the regular one.
Oh, double
I,
forbidden.
I mean I lean the discard one, but there are times where I feel like it's swingy.
Oh man, I love the discard one. I just don't think you can even argue about it anymore because I don't know. I've just shows hit rank 1 legend multiple times every season now with that list in particular.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting though. I think the forbidden rituals will be neat. It's gonna walk right into swipe, but that's kind of expected at some point or another. So opts to cycle the Wrath and take out the Direwolf. I could have just, seen the Mire Keeper being the play this turn. That's interesting. That Bork focused so hard on the removal straight away. Because I don't know. I feel like if you tried to remove at all times against Zoo, you might just end up exhausting yourself. At some point, the Mire Keeper's got to get played in. This turn's just not that efficient.
He's ramping.
But you expect the Zoo to trade. Yeah, so I think you could trade to play one ritual.
Yeah, tap first.
It's a little scary. Yeah, Peddler seems good.
I like Peddler. Yeah, I like the tap. And then
yeah, the tap's interesting. This hand is very, I don't know. The rituals have to get played at some point. I would have preferred to play one there because the tap, it's nice, but the rituals, they cost so much mana. It's just gonna be hard in the long run to get this hand dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah, he's ramping up. We can clear this if he wants to.
Yeah, I think that was the best part of the Mire Keeper ramp is just that.
Oh, and that nourishes.
The removal options got a little bit better. I don't know about nourishing. Now, I feel like with 6 mana there, the swipe, hero power, Moonfire was just a really good clear. But this opens up more options with the Drake, I guess. That's pretty good.
And my spectate's bugged. I'm gonna have to.
Oh yeah, they just.
Oh,
need
there
to...
it went.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. He's gonna go ahead and tap here again, and he's still got the abusive in here, so he. I didn't get a chance to look over all of his lists.
Yeah. I think abusive should be part of Zoo. It just should. Even post nerf and everything. Okay, so the swipe's still just.
Do you expect to see the second swipe? Yeah.
Whoa.
Swipe face.
I mean,
he's gonna clear.
I really don't know.
I mean, I think you knife juggler forbidden.
You saw 2 swipes. I think you have to.
He's going all in.
That's amazing that both swipes were used. I'm really surprised. Although, to be fair, you don't play around Forbidden Ritual anymore these days.
You really don't, no.
So, yeah, by playing the unexpected traditional Zoo list, Arcane kind of got Bork here. And I don't think there's any way to
He can Wrath one, he can Living Roots, but we
in
see
the
the
end,
Leroy
Leroy's
in
gonna
hand.
finish it off.
Yeah.
So there's Drake, Moonfire,
So
Wrath,
if he,
Hero Power.
yeah, he could also just gain 8 armor.
That might be the thing to do, and just not play the Drake.
Clear off as much stuff, gain 8 armor. Looks like that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I like this.
He's gonna play the 8/8 too.
Moonfire, maybe? Moonfire Living Roots? Saving it for the Malagos, I guess. That's interesting. So if Bork's alive this turn, and the Giant can connect to face, Arcane will be dead. Bork has saved this Moonfire and Living Roots to try and kill next turn, it seems like.
The light.
Which is interesting. I would have been so tempted at so many different stages to remove minions with these. That's gonna be it.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah, wow. That's 21 damage. That's wow. Huh. I would have been so tempted to have just thrown the Moonfire to the wind so much earlier.
Yeah, that worked out for him. I'm
Bork
sad
had
to
a
see
plan.
Arcane lose already, but that was I think doing the math on that. I mean, without playing Emperor, you don't want to play around it, but
I mean, yeah.
I think gotta do the math on that.
You don't really expect it. Like, the Druid had hardly drawn much. That Azure Drake didn't get played. There was a Nourish played. A Wrath got cycled at some point. The
He
Druid
drew
drew a
he
decent
drew a
amount.
decent cards, yeah. And you
But I
didn't
wouldn't-
see a Moonfire or a Living Roots.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That match really went places. So the Druid gets a win. That feels great for Bork, because I imagine Arcane was feeling pretty good about ensuring that Druid would get no wins tonight. Now it looks like we have a Warlock mirror, and Bork's got the discard. So we're about to settle it all here, because that's how it works. In the best
Yeah.
of one, which is better, discard or non?
Yeah. What do you feel like in the mirror matchup, the zoo that goes first has a better shot?
Yeah, that should probably be the case.
Yeah, generally I feel like when I play these mirror matches, Hunter and Zoo, when it's a mirror, it always feels so lopsided sometimes.
Zoo on the coin can do some really special things, like coin inking boss can be really powerful, but at the same time, the Zoo opponent, especially with Soulfire being common now, is just, they can easily counter.
So he's gonna
that.
punch face.
Yeah, I mean, with 2 mana, I guess it's a safe bet.
Well,
I
he's
think
got
that your opponent's
he's
gonna
got a 50-50 here, unless he draws another Silverware Golem of. Okay, yeah,
I think,
I think
this
you do it.
is more than acceptable. You want to play minions on the board anyway, and a 50-50.
Yep, and there
It's
it
fine.
is.
Yeah, and there's no risk if you discard the Malchezaar's Imp. It's fine. You get to draw a card. You didn't get the 3/3/3, but it's really not needed at this point. Man, that Sea Giant's almost playable.
Yep.
This is kind of nice the way it buffs up the Councilman, but
And he's got really good answers here. He can play the abusive.
yeah, there's the abusive. In fact, yeah, just play it all except for the PO, I would say. The PO doesn't seem necessary, right? You don't want to trade the Malchezaar's Imp, do you?
I don't think you do, but he's gonna go for it.
I guess it's fine. Yeah,
Well, this.
pushing 4, and these Shadow Beasts at best, like trading the other way would have protected the Direwolf, which could have been good. Looks like they're both going to get toned up. That kills the Direwolf, but the bodies that remain just really aren't relevant. If only Arcane had a Forbidden Ritual in hand.
Yeah.
That could potentially swing this back, but not the case at this point. Is Bork Oh yeah, the abusive helps clear the board. Yeah. Yeah, so a ritual would be great. Probably
Ritual would be
game
nice here.
Not
Well,
the
he's got a
case.
decent, and that's a
Dark Iron Dwarf. This is really the classic Zoo. Yeah, I just don't think this is the way to go with Zoo anymore.
and that's
Oh, unfortunate.
that's
3
a
and 5 missed.
yeah. 3 and 5 were okay there.
Yeah, Bork's got plenty of life. Just keep tapping. So much in Bork's favor right now.
I think it's a Soulfire. I think you just grabbed the
You could
Void
grab
Walk.
you could grab the PO to try and close the game out sooner, but yeah, Void Walker's just solid. You can't go wrong with it. One thing's for sure, definitely kill this Knife Juggler. With the 3-1, I don't know if the Malchazar's imp was so important to stay alive that you do it like that.
And there's
Yeah, that's
nothing
unfortunate.
Arcane can do to come back from that.
There were so many turns where Arcane was just 1 mana off being able to play that Sea Giant. That could have been huge with that Argus, but it just wasn't quite there. This Warlock's just really not producing much tonight. And there's a Mage to go against. I think the Forbidden Ritual
That's what
variant
he's
is
going
worse against Mage by a lot compared to the discard variant.
So so he's got the Mage left to play against. What do you think Arcane queues up here? He's still got his Shaman, his Hunter.
I'm actually a little surprised that. What do you think about the Shaman versus Mage matchup? I mean, is that something mages look forward to, playing Shaman?
I don't know. I feel like both of those decks, just like if they get a roll,
Yeah.
it can be hard to come back from.
Wow, Bork's got the Arcane Giant and that Mage there. I think Arcane's actually pretty smart here, going with the Hunter against Tempo Mage. I'm always pretty happy playing Hunter against Tempo Mage.
Yeah.
Not with a hand like that though. I mean, Arcane's is fine. It's just Bork's is insane.
Yeah, it's not looking so hot. What do you? I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I don't. So the
Does it
logic,
contest anything? Yeah, I guess.
the logic of not playing the other 2 drops is that they'd be dead to, let's say, Frostbolt or Arcane Blast, but it's the same here, right? By playing
With the
the
Mana
other
Worm
2
on board.
drops, yeah. By playing the other 2 drops, you had at least the potential, if you're optimistic, to trade favorably with the Mana Worm.
Yeah.
But that
And
just
that's-
can't be the case with the Kindly Grandmother. Saves you getting hit for 1 though.
And so, what do you do here if you're Bork?
It really seems like I think you either kill the Leok or you don't do anything like this. I'm surprised the mirror image didn't get played though.
Yeah, see, I think I would have played the Mirror Image.
I think the
And
mirror
Dark
image
Face.
is fine that turn as long as you kill the Leok, because if you don't, then Unleash is just going to be awful. It's interesting. I mean, maybe the taunts didn't seem so great, because if Arcane had Bow, would have used it on 3 because there were 2 great minions to hit.
How do you feel about not coining a Azure Drake here?
I think coining Azure Drake probably should have happened, because at worst, by leaving that beast up, there would have been a Houndmaster, but you have the Frostbolt.
And now Arcane's been able to get a board back, and Bork doesn't have a good way to answer it.
Yeah, those Arcane Giants are a long way away. That's an interesting conclusion.
So it looks like he's going to go Frostbolt Ping.
I just think, like, the more these Drakes sit in hand, the worse it is, because now Highmane's going to get played. There'll just never be a chance for them to get played comfortably and do much work. I don't know. Because you gotta believe Highmane's coming down
Yeah, I think you play Highmane no matter what.
every time. Some mages play Polymorph. That's like
That's so
1 for 1.
French.
It's 1 for 1.
And
It's not
there is
even that bad.
there is a Flame Strike.
Which is worth thinking about if you're arcane. Because you've got your nice little high main here, but how do you keep it safe?
So you go ahead and plays the
Whoa.
bards. Oh, and he gets the rag.
You might as well. Do you hope for the 50-50? No, just gets the guaranteed damage. Puts down the grandmother. I wonder if there was a case for hero power there. I don't know. Probably not.
Well, this has to be flame striked.
Yep.
He'll get it. He'll still have a decent board.
A very
He's
decent.
just gonna get
board.
to add to it.
This is almost when you need the flame strike again. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought about that hero power because Call of the Wild's a whole nother turn away. But you get an extra 3 damage by doing it like that. It had to get cleared one way or another.
Yeah. He's gonna need to Babbling Book into a Blizzard or a Flame Strike.
Yeah, I think you are relying on Babbling Book at this point. Is that Polymorph 4? What that?
It is a Polymorph 4. Well, I mean, actually, this can stop damage.
Yeah, you can
really.
transform
It looks like he's gonna do it.
Alright, well, Babbling Book wanted to cast a spell. A spell was casted, and the book is a pig. Or a huffer thing. So this is lethal, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be getting exactly 11.
Exactly 11. Okay, interesting. That was, yeah, I think Borg should have coined out that one Drake.
Yeah, I think having the board
there.
presence a long time ago would have been really helpful.
Yeah. Especially with 2 in hand. That was a bit...
And he had a coin and an arcane giant in his hand for a decent chunk. Like, at some point, that stuff's got to get played.
Yeah, it feels bad to die with those things in your hand. So, Arcane's on the board with the Hunter. Got some info about the Mage, so...
Going with the Shaman.
Yeah, I feel better. I feel a lot better about Shaman first than Warlock.
Yeah, there's no reason not to queue up the Shaman. I think the...
Oh, Arcane still believes in the Tuskar Totemic as well. It's a decent card. It's balanced, which usually doesn't make the cut, but it's a good effect, so... Ends up working
There's
out
a card.
okay. Yeah, I like this, though, playing the claws first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, these will be really annoying. And a lightning storm would just be overboard, so... Yeah. Probably just Totem Golem.
Yeah, I think you Totem Golem here. He's gonna need to get... He's gonna go ahead and play the Babbling Book. How do you feel about not setting up the Flame Waker here?
Flame Waker... I think Flame Waker is a bit too much of a... Flame Waker would have overextended, I think, into Lightning Storm.
Okay. So he's gonna go ahead and play this. He gets
Ooh,
the...
nice 1-drop.
Yeah, 1/3 is good.
The health is really just perfect. Yeah, I think the waiting for the Flame Waker is perfectly reasonable. So that effigy is just awful right now. Needs this mirror image to be dead first, which is definitely going to be the case. So is this a Tuskar? This is making the things from below cheaper, which is really valuable.
Yeah.
I wonder...
Having both in hand is gonna be...
I wondered if it might be worth coining a totem there.
So do you think he's gonna draw first? And that is a really good pickup. That arcane missiles is huge.
I think it'll just ping. Yeah.
Yeah, the pings, but still, just having that in hand is gonna be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not even the Mighty Spirit Claws is enough here to take down the Flame Waker. These things from below will be cheap eventually, but yeah, it's just the Drake for now. Which Bork has... Thalnos. I'm gonna start with the Effigy. Because maybe he doesn't want to play Thalnos, just wants this 3-mana minion up.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. Just have your Flame Waker up. The Shaman's really going to want to deal with it. If they do, you have your 3-mana minion, and you have your Firelands Portal follow-up, I would guess would be the case.
And now Arcane's got to play around a random secret, which is just annoying. What's this? Oh, Lightning Storm. Okay, so
Yeah,
by
this
using the
feels
coin, he
bad.
tested for counter spells. So that's good. And he rolled
Roll
high.
high.
And yeah, that's a dead one. Okay.
So overloaded, but next turn the
Each turn will have
things from
5
below-
mana.
Yeah, which between Flame Tongue and Hero Power, you can play one thing from below.
That storm was interesting. It was probably the right thing to do. I don't know. Leaving a Flamewaker up definitely feels bad. Yeah, so just the Drake ping turned out to be the thing to do there.
He's getting the Drakes out of his hand, and he's going to have the option to play an 8/8 here.
Maybe he just shouldn't play the Flame Tongue. Just Hero Power, thing from below, Tunnel Trog. I think Bork's gonna be pretty wary of Hex, and he'll probably only play the Giant when it's just about as cheap as Hex.
And this is a really good Firelands portal.
Oh, it's perfect. Oh my god. That's such a good minion to get off of it. The Inspire's actually really scary because those squires cost 1 mana.
Yep. And
1 mana
he's-
2/2s for days.
And he might have to, he might Hex that.
Yeah, the storm's gone now. Oh man, Arcane's just a little bit of mana off being able to do so much more. With
Yep.
9 mana, you could Thunder Bluff, Flame Tongue, Hero Power, and be able to trade with something, but it's not the case.
He's gonna
right now.
Hex the
Drake.
Drake.
Doesn't like the spell power, which I guess is understandable. A lot of spells have been used. Still kind of optimistic to think that that trade
then-
will happen.
Bork picks up a really good draw. That Frostbolt.
Why is he pinging like this? Oh, he's gotta get his sick squire. Okay.
So at this point, do you just drop a couple spell powers, Frostbolt it, and go face?
Oh yeah, Thalnos Colt. Oh
Ooh.
no, he was so cool. He made so many squires. No, now the squires can't attend him. I think Thalnos Cult Sorcerer, Frostbolt,
Frostbolt.
Squire.
Yeah, I think that would have been a lot better.
Although
This isn't bad either.
Bork goes for this play though, I think mostly in part due to the Hex being used on an Azure Drake.
Yeah.
So the window opened up more for the Giant, but I don't know, man. I liked that. I liked the Recruiter so much. I would have loved to see him stick around and make some more squires. I'm sad now. I really liked that Recruiter.
Oh,
So-
and
There's some burn in Bork's hand. I think you want to go face.
you can put him to 2.
Whoa! Oh yeah, there's already spell power on the board. Okay, my mistake.
You can play those Frostbolts.
I think you could just ping the 1/1. I don't know. Like those Frostbolts and the spell power would be there next turn. Arcane, why'd you concede? You weren't dead. Although it was at like 99% over.
Yeah, I didn't see a way for him to win that out after that.
okay, so that's a 3-1 in favor of Bork then.
And that's gonna put me and D Lineman. We've got some pressure on us to
Got
win
some
tomorrow.
pressure.
Yep.
Well, is there any chance that the format is shifting to the Tavern Brawl? Because I hear D Lyman's really good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're you went a
Yeah.
little wind tunnely there. But yeah,
Oh, whoops.
so
Yeah. I
yeah,
bumped
D
something.
Lineman plays against our illustrious Captain Jedi,
Oh boy.
our leader, our fearless leader, and I'm playing against the Legend 5 seed and Dagger Randolph. We're gonna have
Oh my god.
it's come down to the wire.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall. Yeah, so that'd be really
But-
cool. I'll be looking forward to seeing how that one develops, along
Yep.
with all the others.
So 2 series were decided. Team Rank 5 won, and
Oh, the
Yeah.
danger zone, or the not danger zone,
damage ones.
damage ones, damage, danger.
So those two are decided. They have walked away, but the other teams that were featured tonight, Entropy and the Harry Generals, they still have some work cut out
Mm-hmm.
for them.
Yep, but that's it for now. Good night of Salty Saturday. Good matches, some pretty interesting ones, and yeah, I think that's gonna be it. We got I don't even want to spoil it here, but next Salty Saturday is gonna be sick.
Oh, is it already set?
I have no idea who's playing, but I know who's casting, and it's gonna be a laugh.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Slimps.
Yep, good times. All right, until then, bye.
Bye.